So I just wanted to make a quick video here recapping today, which is 10/3/2023. So normally in this kind of market, this kind of setup today would produce a ton of trades. I mean, it is beautiful. We've got, let me just pull up the daily here as well, just so I can show off both. So we've got a nice breakdown below the low of September 27th, coming down upon another trend line here, plus the 200 simple moving average. This is a nice breakdown. This would normally support a nice amount of shorts, but what was the problem today? The problem today is that everything sucks. I'm going to go through my the list I've curated today. I'm going to show how all of these trades, for the most part, pretty much suck. Now, I hate this. It makes me so upset because, I'm doing this. This is my job. And the fact that I cannot find anything decent is, you know, a direct, it basically directly affects my income. So here, okay, let's look at my list of today. We got MDT. Nice relative weakness, but what the fuck? I mean, this is just chop, 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 low volume, is not moving all the way down. Not what I want to see. Hershey. Same thing. Nice moves. Like, from a technical perspective, this is what we want to see. But look at these. Look at these candles in here. You see how small these candles are? These candles are tiny. And they've got all these kind of tails. We're not seeing big red, 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 red. Like, I wanted to see these kind of candles without the tail stacked. I want to see a nice move, especially with this selling. I mean, look at this. Oh my God. What more can I ask for in terms of SPY? I cannot ask for much more than this. But this is not giving me anything. Triple M. I was looking at it here. My broker froze up. I could not access the option chain. I might have bought puts here, but I wasn't able to. And then by the time I had access to it again, this was bouncing. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. That's crap, though. I mean, you can see here. Where does it start bouncing? 1055? What's 1055 look like here? A continuing leak lower. We've got a bounce? That's bullshit. That's not what we want. Morgan Stanley. Just slow, slow, slow. Nothing huge. Come on, give me something. GIS, crap. Terrible. Low. Did look good. Then just decided to consolidate all day. Crap. HD. Same thing. You can see I put this line here. This is what was going to tell me to get back interested. Never triggered it. I said it over here. Almost triggered it here, but failed. Did not even trigger it. Pathetic. Goldman Sachs. That one's decent. Let me see why I didn't take it. Well, I don't know. It looks pretty good, honestly. But the thing about financials is that the Fed saying something could affect them. So I tend to not want to get into it. But regardless, this one looks a little bit better. But still, all these pullbacks, it's like, where's the conviction? Just give me an aggressive move down. Eli Lilly. This one was nice, and I had my eye on it all day. The problem is, it's way better to use a spread on this kind of trade because of how expensive the options are. It's a $500 stock. I'm not buying the shares or selling the shares. I'm not buying the options. I'd rather do spreads. I'm not that proficient at spreads yet, and I don't think this is the best time for me to be learning them. So this is a trade that I could have taken if I had better skill. In the option stalker room, one of the pros, Dave, he took a put debit spread on this and took 30%. It was a really nice trade. And that's this exact trade I would have taken on this had I had the expertise to do it. Did not have the expertise, therefore I didn't take the trade. What's next? Burlington Coat Factory, or I don't know if they call it that anymore. Crap. Sedge, SEDG, Solar Edge, very tiny D1 candles, but this again, look at this. I mean, You've got the technical setup to move down, but then it just decides to bounce, completely invalidates what you're really looking for. MRK, I was in this 2 days ago or yesterday. I don't remember when. I think 2 days ago I entered it. Yesterday I closed it. Um, this could have been good. But again, we're really looking for that selling, 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 and it's just not selling. I mean, bounce here. This was only off from like, what was this off from? Let me look. 11:30, 11:30 when it was finally setting a new low of the day. Oh my God, finally we're pulling back now, but it's like, okay, well the market has to do the most drastic thing in the world for you to start selling off again. That's not really confidence inspiring. McDonald's. I was in that. When was I in that? I was in that sometime in the last few days. I was in that. Oh yeah, I got in that yesterday. I sold it this morning. Anyway, McDonald's was nice, but I kind of have this mental thing where like if I was in a stock already once, I kind of avoid getting in it twice. You know, in the same day, that is. That's not necessarily a good thing, but it's just kind of something that messes me up in my head when I look at the daily chart and I say, okay, I'm targeting this level because it's acting as support. And then it breaks through that and it's like, okay, is this giving it enough time to really test that support level? Should I wait to see if it bounces? I don't know. So I kind of tend to avoid doing that. So that's kind of why I didn't take McDonald's. Wasn't the worst stock in the world, but you know, I did not trade McDonald's today. Well, I didn't enter a position on it today. ELF, I saw one of the traders that is in our room take ELF. I liked ELF. I'm pretty sure he was targeting this level. I think he took profit. I wasn't really paying attention. Um, that was a good trade. I didn't like it because of this candle here. I thought maybe this could act as a support level. By the end of the day, maybe it will close above that level. Maybe it'll show that it did act as a support level. I'm not 100% sure, but I avoided that just because it didn't check an additional box that I wanted checked to enter that trade. But I think he made a good trade on that. So that was a good trade on his part. A, B, and B. This is one I found earlier in the day. I wanted it to get below this line, so I was watching it all day. It did touch it. I think somewhere around here. I think this was the original bounce off that. Then it did like a pathetic retest and then it bounced off that again. So, like I said before in a previous video, well, I'll just show you in case you haven't watched it. I showed Google and I showed how if it's not going to get through this level here, I don't want to buy it. Well, it didn't. I didn't buy it. Sells off. Typical. Same thing happened with A, B, and V here. Did not get through this level. If it does, I will likely short it, but it is not through that level yet. CELH, I was watching because it broke through this line. It's approaching the gap below this line here. This is an alert line I have. This is not a trend line. It's just an alert line. I I didn't end up trading it because again, look at how these tiny, tiny candles. I mean, this is this is basically just saying, yeah, I give up. I mean, fuck it. This level's whatever. I'm not really trying to push it lower. I'm not trying to push it higher. I don't really care anymore. And I don't want to be in that. That's crap. And then AXP, this is the final trade we're going to be looking at. This is one I actually took. So I'll explain why. So I took it somewhere around here. I think on this, let me see. I remember what price point it was at. I think around 145.90, I believe. Yeah, 145.90 is where I took it. So let me see. So I took it about right there. Reason being, if you looked at all those previous trades, what did they have in common? Mixed candles, low volume. This volume is positive here on the 10 vol indicator that's on this Option Stalker Pro platform. It tells me that the average volume is greater than normal. So you can see that the volume is good. It has not breached the 8 exponential moving average all day. It's kind of was stacking candles earlier today, which not a lot of those did. And then it continued lower on volume. Started getting choppy once I was in it. Definitely started getting choppy once I was in it. But the premise for the trade was over here. I stayed in it. I took profit down here. So that wasn't a bad trade at all. That is the only trade I took today, and I hope you can see the difference between a stock like this and the rest of the crap trades I looked at today, like CELH. There's a drastic difference between something like this and something like American Express. I hope you can see that difference. Um, and just to reiterate what that difference is. So look at AXP here. Remember, I entered it right here. Remember that. So what did I see that I didn't see out of those trades? So this is continuing lower, decent candles, right? You can see that. Now look at CELH. On CELH, yes, it got to a decent rip down here, but then once it got here, it just sat here. Ding dong, ding dong. I mean, back and forth, back and forth. Why would I get in that given that pattern? Now, if I got in off this candle, the premise is not bad. But then that gives me room to let's see, the low of that candle. Oops, I didn't mean to click. The low of that candle is 163.73, and it got down to 160.165. That's nearly $2. But if I got in down here, that is a lot less room to make money. So that's kind of my point. You want to enter when the premise of the trade is good. Sometimes the premise of the trade, or not the premise of the trade, but sometimes the trade will start to look like shit after you enter it. But that's why the daily chart is so important. You want to get in something with a solid foundation. That's another piece of this chart right here on CELH. The daily chart is not as solid as American Express. You see, this is going to act as support, this gap here. It's got the 100 SMA moving up here, and then also, or not also, but let's take a look at American Express and I'll show you how it's different. Look at that. I mean, it is just getting killed. It's bleeding out on the street. It just got stabbed. So that is the kind of trade I want to be in. And I do not want to be in something like CELH, which, for all intents and purposes, it could most definitely be a profitable trade. But it's like this other video I'm working on. It's going to be out soon, but I talk about probability. You want to stack probability. Think of it like a video game, right? If you have certain abilities that increase like the percentage chance of success in your game or of like making an attack or something, I don't know. That's basically what you want to do. Or like in gambling, if you're let's say a certain hand has a better percentage chance of winning against other hands. That's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get as much probability in your favor as possible. So that is why today, despite the market looking pretty decent, we don't often get this kind of movement every day like yesterday. I mean, look at this garbage. Like, does this even look tradable? No, this looks way more tradable. But at the same time, the stocks today did not provide an opportunity to really take advantage of that. And that's the danger of a bull, or not a bull market, a bear market, which is what we're in right now. That's the problem. In this bear market, you're going to constantly run into issues like this because you're going to think, oh, well, market looks good, so we got to find a stock that looks good. Well, it's not so easy. And that's the problem. You have to be patient. It's not like in a bull market where you can take 20 trades in a day that all have a valid thesis. You can be confident in all of them, and they're all probably going to work out. In this market, you can do everything right, you can be as patient as possible, and you still might lose money. Now, by trading like how I trade, you're going to limit that possibility as much as possible, but at the same time, the possibility exists. I hope that video was helpful in explaining why, even though today looked like it might be a good day, it was still not a high probability day when it comes to the actual trades available to us. Trade well.